Special announcement, we've got a eclipse free webinar on Friday, 5 p.m. Costa Rica time. Look at the note box below to sign up for free. Hola, this is Guy Pancha with the weekly Pele report. Yeah. And it is windy outside and I got a ton of stuff to do, so I'm just knocking this sucker out at my desk. I'm sure that you can relate. The eclipse is coming on Friday and it's like super intense. I want to share my screen with you and show you a little bit about this. There's a lunar eclipse coming, and let's just go right ahead and do that. Here we are. Kaboom. See this? Yeah. Oh God. It's trying to move you. Here we have, today is Wednesday. I'm doing the Pele report. The moon is in opposition to Pluto by 6 o'clock tonight. Okay. And then what happens? Thursday, Friday. See that full moon? 22 degrees, 28 minutes of Leo is the moon. Fire, dynamic, okay? Opposite the sun at 22 degrees Aquarius. The reason that it is an eclipse, it's a penumbral eclipse, okay? It's because the moon is conjunct the north node of its own moon. I'm going to talk about how that makes the moon so much more powerful. A very emotional weekend. Emotional release, emotional eclipse on the full moon. Oh my God. And this, okay, but you can see, I mean, come on, it's more than 10 degrees away. Okay, so the penumbral is like, and I want to show you, you're not going to be able to really tell that much about this eclipse because it's not going right. It's not a total lunar eclipse where the shadow of the Earth makes a cone, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it covers the whole moon, and the whole moon goes dark and turns like blood red. Okay, on a total lunar eclipse. This is not one of those. This is very subtle. It is a subtle lunar eclipse. Like you can hardly even freaking tell it's there. Let me show you this other screen. Okay, is this it? I hope so. Look at the difference before the eclipse and in the middle of the eclipse. So it is in alignment with the sun, moon, and earth plane. So it is an eclipse, but it falls just outside the shadow of the earth. So you will have to be very observant, okay? Some people will actually look at this full moon during the eclipse and not even be able to tell that it is an eclipse. I mean, that's how subtle it is. All right, I'm going to stop sharing again. I'm getting this down because I'm doing so many doggone, whatchamacallits, webinars. Okay, okay, this is the start of the eclipse season. So Friday we have this eclipse, and this is what else I want to talk to you about. You can see the sun in trine to Jupiter. This is going on all week, 22 to 23. Okay, so it's all week. The sun is trine Jupiter, very beautiful. And Venus is conjunct Mars. You can see that in the night sky in the west. Okay, they're close, but they're going to just not even really kiss each other before they start separating. They will not conjunct before Venus goes retrograde. I'll talk more about that later. But for now, I want to go forward. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. What happens? Black moon Lilith goes into Sagittarius, okay, on Monday. She has been in Scorpio since May of 2016. Endings, closings, death, and finish, lose, let go. So this, this, it's no accident. It's no, it's very synchronistic, okay, that this eclipse is happening right as Lilith is in what they call the critical degree of 29 degrees of Scorpio, super freaking powerful, bringing this time of closure, releasing, purging, cleansing, everything, yeah, to what happens, okay? Look at, she goes into Sagittarius, and we want to keep on going up here to what? The solar eclipse, okay? On the 26th, we're going to have a solar eclipse where the moon, and it is a total, yeah? Because you can see it's very close to the moon's nodes, yeah? So here we have it, yeah, like 8 degrees of Pisces, a new moon on the south node of the moon with Mercury. And here, okay, I'll talk about it, I'm sure, in the Paleo Report around the 26th, but it's, first of all, the lunar eclipse is happening first, and then the solar eclipse. That's important. The lunar eclipse is happening when the moon is on her north node. That is important. And it makes her more powerful, okay? And, this last, solar eclipse is a total solar eclipse, so it's very powerful. Let me, I will sit outside, look at the camera, and have some green behind me and talk to you more about what all of this means, because I can see this is somewhat technical for some of you. Okay, so what does this all mean? What is going on? I'm sure that you may be feeling, if you are sensitive and tuned into the collective unconscious, okay? There is a jitteriness, there is a nervousness, there is a anticipation, but it could also be anxiousness or anxiety living within the collective right now, almost like aliens are approaching, or like there's, here comes a plane. That's great, man, good timing. Yeah, because this is what happens. It's like the auric field of the earth is broken on these eclipses, and weird, new, bizarre, foreign energy from deep space kind of enters, the souls that are going to incarnate for the next 6 months are coming in during these eclipses, and there's this kind of influx of new, and it's a very uncertain time. And this, of course, is magnified 100 times by Jupiter opposite Uranus, square Pluto, okay? And now we have Venus and Mars, both together in Aries, ready to start, ready to charge, maybe ready to fight, yeah? To react. Aries is known for being very reactive and jumping on the defensive, and that defensive reacts, okay, on an offensive. What's the thing? The best defense is a good offense. That's Aries. I mean, I'm going to strike you before you strike me. I'm going to leave you before you leave me. I'm going to do this before. So, we got this kind of energy with the masculine and feminine going on. Like, okay, I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, because I just get this sense. And so we're all just, it's like walking on eggshells, and everybody's just kind of like, ah. And then we've got this Lilith moving through Scorpio. So all I can say is the moon comes up, lunar eclipse on the north node of the moon, very powerful emotional time. The emotions have to do with chaos, they have to do with the subconscious, they have to do with our emotional nature. And when the lunar eclipse happens before the solar eclipse, okay, it says that all of this emotional subconscious, the moon is the past, needs to come up to the surface, be felt, okay, be processed as much as is possible, and be released. It's like cleaning the slate, erasing the chalkboard, so that 2 weeks later when the solar eclipse comes, it can really kick in, okay, with a clean slate and not be shackled by the past or the unfinished business, or the like words unsaid, words unspoken, things not, it's like we don't want to carry the past into coloring the future. So there's this opportunity, okay, during this time, and even that solar eclipse is in the sign of Pisces, the last final releasing, finishing. We're releasing and finishing. This isn't just like a month or a year. This is a patriarchy. 6,500 years. We have elected the ultimate patriarch, okay, to really demonstrate what patriarchy is all about and what we don't want to bring forward into the future. So we may all be experiencing the kind of like, whoa, wow, what is happening? What just hit me? What, and it's just like, wake up, okay, it's, time to create a new paradigm, time to create a new future. But we want to just really see and be real clear about what we don't want to bring along into that future. What the new paradigm really is, by fully recognizing the old and the dangers and the pitfalls and the false realities and the lies and all the stuff that we have going on that needs to like really get out of the way, so that the new can really emerge. So this is kind of like, plowing the field, okay, putting the compost down, digging up the old roots and the old vines. I used to have blackberries growing in my front yard. Blackberries, it's like, wow. You cut them down, they grow back. You pull them out, they grow back. Okay, they spread, they take over, they're highly invasive. Okay, they're like the patriarchy. Okay, so what we have to do, I even brought in a goat. Okay, goats. Capricorn, how perfect, Pluto in Capricorn is the goat that's gonna like eat all these blackberries, and then I had to go in there with a flame thrower, right, and just like torch the doggone blackberries, man. It's like, so this is, it's like we have to dig up, we have to pull out by the roots and get every last part of patriarchal conditioning out of our system, okay, in order for this new paradigm to grow like a new garden, okay, without the weeds from the past. So we are in the weeding phase, and it's not pleasant. We feel things getting jerked out and pulled out and yanked out and burned out, and and the goat eating us out, and it's just like, ah. But this shit has got to go, and you got to recognize it, speak it, expose it. And this is Black Moon Lilith moving into Sagittarius. She's going to be there for 10 months until November, and this is truth-telling. This is disclosure. She's going to join Saturn, and it's going to be, we are going to have, what did I say 2017 was? Yeah? The end of illusion and profound revelation. We're going to get revelation after revelation, whether we like it or not. And it may not be pleasant revelations, but it's stuff that we've got to see to diagnose the illness so that we can take the right remedies and make the right choices for the future of our children, their children, and our planet, yeah? So this is really this time period. This eclipse is bringing it all in. Lilith is also bringing it all in. So, this, mantra for this week, yeah, is really, it's time for me to let go of the past. Not just by walking away, but by closing space with heartfelt grace, where we can say all we need to say. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the end of a job, the end of a past identity. This Venus, Mars, and Aries wants to just walk away, maybe run away. I could change that mantra to run away. Okay? But you know what? We will be so much better by, you know, really standing in that powerful spiritual masculine of holding space. The warrior holds space and listens and hears and receives the wisdom that is generated by reviewing the past and reflecting on the past and saying all and listening to all and hearing all, purging all, getting all the emotions, okay, getting it all out. So this full moon, let it all out. And it may be screaming, yelling, dancing, pulling your hair out, pulling somebody else's hair out, you know, like, ah, you know. But let it all out, let it all go so that we can really begin a total new trip, okay, with the new moon on the solar eclipse. Super powerful season now. Not just this full moon. We're coming into a 2-week, you know, eclipse season that is like super, super powerful. Yeah? So it's like, don't just be running away and I don't want to hear and I don't want to listen and, you know, screw you and I'm gone and that and, you know, F off. You know, but no. Heartfelt grace. Like, really come to closure. Lilith wants to leave Scorpio, not as a ruined, smoking battlefield with smoking guns, but by leaving the peace accords, okay, where, yes, we had these experiences and these explosions and this transformation, and it's over now, but we can resolve our issues and move on without regret, without grief, without, you know, oh, I should have said that, or I forgot to say that, or I never told him or her that, or whatever. No. You know, Scorpio is therapeutic release. So see that therapist, see that counselor, this is the time of this eclipse season, the next 3 weeks here is all about resolving our differences, speaking our whole truth, nothing but the truth, and then we move on and we don't have to repeat that relationship again. We don't have to repeat that lesson again. We don't have to, it's like you have to get it so you don't have to repeat it. That could be the mantra. Get it so you don't have to repeat it. Ow! You know what I'm talking about. What is it? It's time for me to let go of the past. Not just by running away, but by closing the space with heartfelt grace, where we can say all that we need to say. Let it out, baby. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.